Welcome and hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first Cadence Campus Live. So in the past, every month, our Cadence Campus newsletters hits your inbox and brings you content highlights, product sneak peeks, student engagement tips. And every couple of months, we held our famous Cadence boot camps that focus on the hot topics across campus. So the engagement of the newsletter and our boot camps is so high, we thought, why not combine them both and to bring you the content that you love? So this is going to be a monthly 30-minute webinar series to give you, to our beloved users, a chance to spend some time with the people behind Mongoose, including your friendly client success managers and other Cadence users.
And before we dive into our intros, we want to remind you, please use the Q&A for any questions that you do have. Gary and I are going to save some time at the end to answer those questions, but we'd love to have those in the Q&A.
That's great. So speaking of the people behind Mongoose, today I am Gary Steltermann. I am an implementation specialist here for the chat side of the house. And joining me today are two of those other friendly faces here. As I mentioned earlier, Mike Seaman, a client success manager, and Sarah Bernard, who is a technical support specialist. Mike, do you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I come from a higher education background. I spent 5 years as a graduate enrollment management counselor, and then 2 years in intercollegiate athletics. I was a former Cadence user and now get to apply those things on the Cadence side of things. So working with partners to make sure they're best optimizing the platform and getting the most out of it. Super excited to be here with you today, Gary.
Great. Thanks for helping us kick us off. Sarah, do you want to say a couple quick words?
Sure, yes, just like Mike, I have a higher ed background as well in admissions, orientation, and student success. And now I work at Mongoose, where I was once a user, and now I'm part of the tech team. Awesome.
Thanks, Sarah. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of a background, and we're going to go ahead and dive into what we're going to be getting into today. So just to start our day off, I just want to see a little bit of emojis in our chat that kind of best describe how your semester has started off so far. And while those pour in, just a little bit of what we're going to be going into today. As is custom with the first few classes of the semester, we're going to be having a syllabus review. But this is going to be what we here at Mongoose have been doing to improve everyone's favorite engagement software over the summer. And then once that's over, we're going to have a pop quiz. But this is actually a kind of for us, though, so once we go through all of our updates that you're going to be having some questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A section, and we'll have time some later for that Q&A to go through. So all right, now I'm going to turn it over to Mike, and he's going to give you some quick updates of what we've been working on all summer.
Perfect. Well, thanks, Gary, for that. I know this summer has been very busy for our team at Mongoose here. We've been really working a lot on some automation rollouts. And I know there's a couple of things that you might have seen come through already, but be on the lookout in the next few weeks, next few months for some further automation updates. So most of you have probably seen the update to our segments. Our updated segment builder allows you to use that up-to-date data that you're loading in to create even more focused lists capturing that exact audience that you are looking to target, which is reducing the need to make those multiple segments. So instead of having 3 or 4 segments that you're sending out, you can kind of combine that all into one to make it even more effortless to get that information out to that defined population that you want. So with updates to segments, it's improved your contact list generation, again, better targeting of that text audience, leading to some overall higher message reply rates, eliminating some recipient confusion that's been going on, as well as we've made some updates to that static segment. So before you were only able to add that 1,000 users at one time or 1,000 identifiers at one time, it's been boosted up to 5,000. So you can add up to 5,000 contacts at once into that static segment. In addition to segments, we've released the out of office for shared inboxes. This was a highly requested feature by many of our users, and we're happy to say it's finally here, to say the least. We're going to touch on that a little bit on the next slide in more detail, but we did hear you, and we did put that in place, and so far, so good with that. In the next few weeks, you can expect some updates to smart messaging. So we've made smart messaging even smarter now. In addition to that yes or no type question that you're used to asking through smart messaging, there's going to be a multiple choice type selection, as well as some numeric selectors. So it's really elevating smart messages to the next level and allowing you to make some additional enhancements and upgrades to those messages that you're sending out. So again, something that's been highly requested, and happy to say that's going to be coming very, very soon. So the next few weeks, make sure you're paying attention to the updates in the product to see that come through. And then a little bit farther down the line, but I've been told the next few months to expect some updates onto this, auto-generated text. So being able to have repeating messages that are being sent out. I know that's something a lot of people have been asking for as well. Our product team is hard at work developing that right now, kind of in some final testing phases. So next few months, you can see a little bit more about that. And it's our most advanced texting feature rollout yet. So we're all excited for a little bit more for that to come. And maybe next Cadence Campus Halloween, we might have a little bit more about that, right, Gary?
That's right.
So I know I mentioned 2 out of office for shared inboxes is something we're really impressed with. When your office is closed or your team is away, that out of office feature is going to be able to send some automatic responses. It's going to notify anybody who is texting you that you are no longer able to answer those messages at this point in time. When this is enabled, your out of office will automatically be sent as a response to those incoming messages, but it's only going to happen once a day per person. So if somebody texts you 4 or 5 times, they're not going to get that out of office repeatedly, so you won't have to bog them down with all those messages, but it is going to alert them that you're not going to respond for that period of time. Your recipients are only going to get that in your time zone too. So that it's going to go that once a day in your time zone. And then when this out of office is enabled, you're going to see a notification in the right-hand corner of Cadence to remind you that it is on. Again, it is something you do have to toggle on manually, unlike an email out of office where you can set a specific start and end date. This is something that you do have to manually turn on and off. So having that little notification in the right-hand corner to remind you to turn it off when you return is also a great thing that we are impressed with. One thing that I've been asked a couple times right now is what happens if somebody who's responding to, say, one of my auto replies or a smart message keyword, if they respond to that, they're not going to get that out of office to kind of make it that seamless experience that they're used to. But again, out of office for shared inboxes is that latest update, and we're super, super happy with it. I'd like to now turn it over to you, Gary, to talk a little bit about some of the enhancements with chat that we've been building up here at Mongoose.
That's right. I have the pleasure of taking the chat side of the house on this time. The first thing that's really exciting is our ability to assign chats manually. So we've been having some great updates. These are going to help your team stay organized and get the most out of your chatbot out of Cadence. So the first is this manual assignment feature. So now a user can assign or send a live chat or a follow-up conversation to other users on their team or other users on another team that also have chat in Cadence. So you can also see here that there's an opportunity to leave some internal notes that the user or the visitor is not going to be able to see, but kind of increases your communication between team members. And so along with these manual assignments comes our automatic chat assignments as well. So this can be used in a lot of different ways that we can get creative with them. And it's kind of just based on how your team is made up. So for an example, if you have an admissions counselors who have certain territories, you can ask the visitor what state they're from, and chat will automatically assign that conversation to either that single user or a group of users, and then it will kind of just be round robin from there. And this will be used for the same live chat or a follow-up to that user. We can also assign based on programs. So if you have advisors that they're in charge of, those visitors will be given to them. So if they have advisors that for your engineering or your biology departments, they can route to certain team members, and that way that's a little quicker experience for that visitor to get to that user on your team. They're going to get their questions answered a little sooner. Next slide. Another great update that we've included for chat is the email notifications for our follow-up conversations. So now when you're going to your profile, you see the notifications tab, you can go ahead and click the box that allows this email to come through. So now, even if you're not logged into Cadence on the daily, you'll be able to get these emails whenever someone comes and gives a follow-up for your team. That way you can log in and you can reply to them in a timely fashion, because we know that these people are knocking on your door. We want to be able to answer their questions as soon as possible and give them the best site experience and best experience overall as well.
And with chat and text being so seamlessly integrated within the Cadence student engagement platform, it's really imperative to have some of these enhancements.
That's right. So now anybody that's going to be a part of that team is going to be able to get these emails from you, and then you guys kind of decide on the workflow based on who is going to get those assigned to them. And then our final chat side of the house update is we have a Slate integration.
It's our first one, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's big news. So the Slate integration that you've come to know and love on the text side of chat is now, or on the text side is now on the chat side as well. So all of that visitor data, all of that important contact information can be sent directly to Slate. Our team does all the heavy lifting. Shout out to our product and our engineering teams who are very busy this summer, and they'll be able to set that up. And a lot more are coming too. So if you're not necessarily a Slate user, let us know and we'll be able to work for you on getting those set up in the future as well. So the visitors are knocking on your door. Like I said, we want to make it as easy as possible for you guys to follow up with them, whether it's in a follow-up, a live chat, an email later on, or things like that.
And if someone's not using chat yet or doesn't have that enabled, I think definitely reach out to your client success manager, your account manager, get you in the right hands to make sure that you're able to see how it all seamlessly works together and how it can kind of help you with any areas of your institution.
That's right. All right. Speaking of answering questions, that brings us to the end of our presentation. So we are happy to answer any and all questions that you guys have, whether it's on text or it's on chat. I wanted to make sure that I had someone on the tech side to help me with those questions too, which is why I brought on Mike. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to populate them quickly. First come, first serve, and we'll see what we can get going.
One question I've got for you, Gary,
yeah, sure.
We should let everybody know is when is our next Cadence Campus Live?
Cadence Campus Live is going to be a monthly show. And the next one is going to be October 31st, Halloween. Spooky season is upon us. And we are going to be kicking it off with another episode on Halloween. So come make sure you stay tuned, sign up. And in the meantime, I know there's going to be another FYI. Gil has been busy interviewing everybody. And if you are interested in participating in any of these too, make sure you follow up with your CSM. We'll be able to get you guys with whatever it is that you want to participate with us.
Yeah, and with Cadence Campus Live being on Halloween, I've heard some rumors Gary may even dress in costume. So make sure you register and see if that's something that actually does occur. One question that we've got that's come through here is from Kim here. Is Slate the only CRM that is compatible with Cadence? And I think you can talk to this on the chat side first, and then I can speak a little bit on text.
Chat on the chat side, Slate is the one that is the only one compatible right now. But if you have something else, our engineers are happy to work with whatever one you have coming up with next. They do a great job of making all the heavy lifts on our side. So we'd be happy to, so whatever it is that you have, we'll be able to work with you on that side. But on the tech side,
I think it's a little bit different. We have various different native integrations with quite a few different CRMs. We also have FTPs and APIs that can be built out. There's a certain solution that you're utilizing on campus. I encourage you reach out to your client success manager. They can kind of work with you a little bit to determine what's going to be your best course of action in terms of a native integration or an FTP API. Anytime you can get data loaded in automatically, it's going to make your life a lot easier than having to do those manual imports. So definitely reach out to your individual CSM, client success manager, and they can help you more out with that.
Awesome. Another question we have is, I'm new to Cadence Mongoose. How can I get the newsletter? If you reach out to your CSM, they'll be able to give you the instructions. I believe there is an opportunity on our website to grab that and just click sign up. But in the meantime, you can stay tuned and see if that answer comes in from someone who would know better than me.
And then we're bringing on Anthology Reach, any movement on getting that built out. That is something that I would say talk with your individual client success manager. They'll be able to kind of work with you and see if that is in our roadmap, as well as if it is something that we do eventually go with. We're always looking for beta testers for new and improved things on our part. So your individual client success manager is also going to be the best one to talk with about that. And then how is smart messaging going to be different? Smart messaging is going to have some exciting changes to it. I know I alluded to earlier with some of the changes in terms of being able to send out numeric responses, kind of that 1, 2, 3, 4 that they can respond to and give you more information that way, as well as having some multi-select answers. So really smart messaging is getting smarter. Instead of just that yes or no questions that are previously being asked, you and I are going to have different ways to reach out to your constituents, your prospective students, current students, anybody that you're reaching out to, utilizing the automated smart messaging is going to have some advanced features for you that again is going to make your life life easier. Stay tuned again for those additional automation updates. Automation is an area that we're really focusing heavy on. We want to make sure that we're making your lives as easy as possible. And that's something that we see with these features every single day.
That's right. And another great way that you can have chat and text work together is that you can put in those keywords that you want to activate those smart messages right into your playbook. So if you have an event coming up, or if you have a certain program that you want to make sure that you are putting out there that everybody can know about, you can have you can have the messages say for that person to text this to your favorite number, your favorite Cadence number, and they'll be able to get put right into that smart message replies. So just another great option for those to be working together together.
And we've done a couple boot camps too, where we focus strictly on some use cases for smart messaging. So always reference our Cadence campus, the knowledge base as well, if you are a Cadence user, to kind of go back and take a look at all those previous things that we put together. And again, anytime if you have specific questions about how it could relate to your institution's needs, go ahead and reach out to your client success manager, get some time on their calendar to make sure that you're kind of getting everything all squared away and built out the way that would work best for you.
All right.
And then John's asking about some additional information about the auto-generated messaging. John, it's going to be in the next few months here that we're going to have some additional information. It's something that we are just giving a kind of a sneak peek to right now, but stay tuned. There's going to be some more updates coming out about what specifically that's going to look like, and you'll have that information hopefully sooner rather than later.
Great.
By Halloween, hopefully, Gary's going to have some additional updates.
Some other things coming to you.
I've got one for you guys that just came through. Any suggestions, especially, with the best practices folks that you are, any suggestions on innovative campaigns like for text or chat that you've seen with other clients? So the question is, innovative text campaigns on chat messages you've seen with other clients. Any good campaigns lately that we've seen? Anything fun, exciting?
So like using the chat to text, is that kind of where the question is, or utilizing both text and chat in different ways for campaigns?
I think I would start with the text campaign. So the question is about like innovative text campaigns. So possibly campaigns like that we've seen folks use that are really exciting and get a lot of engagement.
Yeah, so anytime that there's some sort of specific call to action, especially in a text message, I've seen a lot recently with some first-year student groups that are trying to get them involved on campus, making sure that they're, I work with one school that's kind of sorted individual groups into houses, almost like Harry Potter, where they've got specific groups that they're into, and then get some additional leadership skills. They have some people that are working with them on specific advising, and then reaching out to them with pertinent information about maybe upcoming group meetups or maybe upcoming university events. So really, that's one of the big things I've seen recently is some first-year student experience has been using texting in kind of some creative ways. How about on the chat side? Anything?
My favorite recommendation for campaigns from a chat perspective is using the chat to text feature whenever someone leaves their contact information to be followed up with. But whenever you use that chat to text feature, is creating a chat to text follow-up campaign. That way you can kind of track how your success rate in following up with them is, and it's a little more measurable on just showing the effects of how well they work together. They're coming to you looking for information, and then you can give that to them in the best way that they want possible, whether that's through a text, and that's easily done right in the same software, so you're not switching back and forth between Cadence and whatever else you may be using. So,
and for your individual use case, definitely connect with your client success management team, your account manager. Gary can even be brought into some of these calls too to talk more strategy that would work directly for your institution, just so we have a better understanding of maybe some things you're looking to accomplish and how we can best assist with that. I know John has another question in here about sharing some links or resources about the Slate and Mongoose integration. I think our team can send some stuff over directly to you via chat, and then after as well, John, we can follow up with some links and some documentation on how that would work out and what you need to do to enable that. And I see Jen's responding, which is perfect.
Yeah, we have a whole knowledge base dedicated to not only our tech side, but our chat side as well. And there's definitely something on our chat integrations and what is to come as well. Or you can reach out to your favorite implementation specialist, Gary at mongooseresearch.com, and we can help you out there too.
One more came in if you're interested. Sorry, guys.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, so one more came in. Were you guys at NACAC? And where will you be next?
We had a very strong showing in NACAC. A lot of our SAMs, strategic account managers, that's
yep.
right. They were there. A lot of our higher ups, they were out there getting. Gil was there as well. Shout out to Gil Rogers. He was recording a couple of FYI episodes for us too. And where we are next, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I think Mel and are both on the call here, and they might be able to provide some insight. But we are always looking for insight into where you're going to be. We love to meet with you out at different places. So if there's ever any sort of conferences, regional, national, local, whatever it is, send it to your client success team, your client success manager, and we can definitely get it added to our calendar because we are planning for 2024 for our conference calendar right now.
And Laura says that yes, they're taking the Skittles on the road to the National Symposium on Student Retention, and that's in New Orleans next month.
Awesome. Yeah, New Orleans, great conference town for sure. One thing too, make sure you're following us on LinkedIn, our social medias. We're always posting where we're going to be, what we're up to. We've got some photos from when we were at NACAC. We had some of our folks there at Man in the Booth and had some great conversations with our partners.
And if you're interested in presenting in any of these conferences to kind of showcase what it is that you're doing with Cadence, we'd be happy to partner with you. And whether you want to partner with and present with your Cadence success manager or whoever it is, we'd be happy to set that up and hopefully get something worked out as well.
We've seen a great shout out from Rachel here about going to Case in Wisconsin over the summer and sharing how easy and great our platform is to use. And we really appreciate that. That's something that I thought always too as a user when I was working in enrollment management. Happy to see that everybody's sharing that sentiment.
I do appreciate it. I've heard a lot of different people say how user-friendly Cadence is, whether they were coming from another piece of software that they didn't really like as much, or they thought was a little overbearing. But just having this ability to easily use it makes everyone's jobs a lot easier.
Yeah, and if there are ever any feature requests or things that you think this could make Cadence so much better for me, my life easier, share that with your client success manager, share that with our support team. We are always taking that feedback, and that's kind of how all of these updates have happened. It's been from feedback like yours that's kind of taking us to that next level.
I can especially account for the chat side of the house is that we do take into account what our users are looking for. So we're happy to work with you and see how we can best get chat and text for that matter working as best for your team as possible.
And then I know our team is asking a specific question relating to our next kind of teasing here for a giveaway we may or may not be putting on for this next Cadence Campus Live. Gary, what's your favorite Halloween candy?
Halloween candy. I am a peanut butter guy first and foremost, so definitely Reese's is at the top of my list.
So I was going to go with Reese's, but I feel like we can't have the same answer.
There's plenty to go around for everyone.
I'm going to go with Coffee Crisp. And for those of you that don't know, it's a Canadian candy. And being in Buffalo, we're right on the border. So a Coffee Crisp would be my favorite.
It's the hop, skip, and a jump to go get some Coffee Crisp. Right?
Exactly. And we may or may not be planning some sort of giveaway for the next Cadence Campus Live. So I think that might mean we are planning a giveaway, and you may want to register to attend so that you can take part of that. And if you have a favorite Halloween candy, yes, John, throw it in the chat. We'd love to hear what everybody else's favorites are.
Oh, we love it. 100 grand, Take 5, both super underrated, but you're never sad when they show up.
You are never sad. Yeah, that is something that you're always looking forward to.
Hashtag not a sponsor, but they could be.
Well, Gary, I don't see any more questions that have come in, but we'd love to stay around for another minute or two if there are any others that do come through. But enjoyed my time with you today. It's been a lot of fun.
This is a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to being on everyone's screens for the upcoming few. Hopefully we can keep this going strong, especially into the next one in October, where we will have some special guests from Jacksonville State University. And like Mike said, some tasty treat giveaways are always fun. So make sure you register. And then as well as the upcoming FYI session where Gil is going to sit down with some other higher ed peers and talk about the latest and greatest tips and tricks. For now, he has the host of the most titles, but hopefully I can wrestle that away from him sometime soon.
Appreciate that, Gary. And like Gary said earlier, if you are ever interested in being a part of FYI or being a part of Cadence Campus Live, spending some time with Gary, let us know and we can see what we can do to make that happen. Well, again, we'd like to thank everybody for their time this afternoon. We know it's a very busy time on campus. Appreciate you spending some time with us. And if there are any other questions that you do have that come up after the fact, you can reach out to Gary or myself, or if you wanted to reach out to your individual client success manager, they'd be happy to address them as well.